Welcome to Don's Manufactory. Just a quick shop update today. Still waiting on springs for Betsy. When I ordered those springs, the prediction was 1 week to build, 1 week to ship. It's now been 3 weeks and they haven't billed me for the springs yet, so they haven't even built them. Called a couple of times, sent emails. One call, there was actually somebody there, so I got to talk to somebody, and he said he didn't want to predict that maybe next Tuesday they would be built, but then next Tuesday came and they weren't built yet. So now we're getting close to Christmas, and we're going to get mired down with shipping, and who knows what their policy is at their place of business. Maybe they close over the, for an extended period of time over the holidays or something. If business is really slow, that could easily happen. Anyway, so I have no news on the springs. So Betsy is still on stands here, as you can see. I don't know if you can see or not. No, I'm still not well. This bug has been really nasty. I have days where I can come out here and do stuff, and other days I can't even, I just don't get a dang thing done. I tore apart the steering box and did a diagnosis on that, so let me show you what's happening there. Turns out that this block is nearly perfect. It's got a little bit of wear on it, but not much. So this car got wrecked before it had a lot of miles on it. Now on the shaft here, it's showing water damage on this top bearing surface, which is pretty standard because it's in a wrecked car and water's running down the shaft, although the shaft itself is not rusty. But there's water damage all through. So you can see it in here on the worm gear and then on the bearings on both ends. However, I'm doing it. I got this because I wanted to know if I had fodder enough to create a bearing like this. And then I can chuck this up in the lathe and grind this square and just press the race on. Anyway, that's my project, is to see if I can come up with a way to fix these bearings on the end, because on my steering shaft, everything is perfect except there's a pit, just one, in the bottom of this the shaft on mine, and every time it goes past a ball, it goes tup, 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 tup. So anyway, a little too much water damage on this one to be useful, although I do end up with some extra balls. Basically, every part in the box has had water damage. It's full of grease. There's no water in the grease, but still all the parts have pits. So it's really a shame that water damage got into this steering box, because it's in such great shape otherwise. The pitman arm is perfect. No rust damage, no wear marks like mine has down here on the shaft itself, so it'll be tighter in the bearings down here. Same thing with the gear, hardly any print at all to the machine marks, just barely even acknowledging that it's been turned. So, and this still has a really good high center. So, there are some usable parts, but unfortunately, the steering shaft just isn't going to make it. It's just got too much damage to it. I might be able to use the block. I don't know yet. I would have to put it on my steering shaft and see if it will roll without hanging up. I guess the first clue should have been that it had rusted off bolts that were busted off in here that I haven't even bothered to take out yet. But as you can see, it's completely full of grease and there's no water in it. So why there's water damage on those bearings, it would have to be a real minor amount of water. This car was wrecked, and eventually the steering column and the windshield were taken out. Water just ran down the shaft. See, there's a little bit of rust, surface rust on the shaft here. It's just really a shame. I was hoping it was have more salvageable parts. Anyway, so basically wasted money. Not quite, but basically. So, what I was looking to do was to find a ball bearing that has the same size ball in it that they use down here at the bottom, and bust the ball bearing apart and machine the inner race so that I can then machine the end of the shaft off square with a stub of shaft sticking out, and then press that race on, and then I'd have brand new bearing surface here. You know, if I thought I could TIG that pit up so that it wouldn't go tunk, 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 that would be soft, so it probably wouldn't last very long either. There are some parts that are completely unscathed, like this top bearing retainer. And of course the pitman arm, like I explained before. But, oh well. So I don't really have a whole lot to show. I've picked up a little problem in the carburetor, like I was showing in the last video. So I think I'm going to pull the carburetor and just kind of take it apart and check it. It's still, the idle still seems to be a little unstable. But it seems to be unstable mixture-wise, not timing-wise, which is what it was before. Right now I'm sort of busy doing Christmas stuff, as you should be too. This is the Christmas season, and I hope you guys are planning to have some good times, or, you know, hang with your family or whatever. And I'm just hoping I feel halfway decent human when it comes time to go over to my daughter's house and do the Christmas thing. I went ahead and bought new springs for the front of Betsy again. When I was looking at the springs, Scott Drake, I bought some Scott Drake ones and they were too short. The 600 pound per inch ones for the 65, 66 Mustang were only 12 inches long. When you have the Shelby drop, phew, not near enough spring. Like I showed in that video before, they were the same length as the ones I cut off. The 67 600 pound ones are about 13.5 inches. So that might be half an inch too high, but I don't know. But when I put the upper control arms in, I put those 67 springs in. So I have no idea where that's going to land until it can get on the ground, but it's not getting on the ground until the rear springs are in. So here we sit. Okay, thanks for watching Don's Manufactory. Really, guys, you know, you guys keep me going. I really lose my gumption, as it were, at times. I just have such a, oh man, I get mired down. When I have to start doing jobs a second time, I get done with the car and I start driving it, and the first things that happen are brand new parts that I bought don't work, and I have to tear it all apart and fix stuff. The main one, of course, is the out of balance flywheel. I put a brand new flywheel in and it's out of whack. So that's such a major tear down, and it bums me out so much I haven't even started it. I haven't even thought about it. I figure I'm going to get all the rear end stuff and the springs and all that stuff done first. Okay. That's the best I can do for you. Merry Christmas if I don't see you again between now and then. And you guys have a good one, you know. Take care of the family. It's important. Okay. I'll catch you later.